Are you ready to fight? Yeah. Are you ready to win? Yeah. I just love doing that. Good evening. Thank you, Cecily, for the invitation. Thank you, UTLA, for the opportunity to be here. My name is Tony Thurmond. I represent the 15th Assembly District, great cities like Richmond, Berkeley, and Oakland. Shout out to my president at UTR, United Teachers of Richmond, Demetrio Gonzalez, here in the house. It is such an honor to be with you, and I want to thank you for fighting for our students, for our communities, and for our profession. We live in an era where people want to point the finger all the time. Instead of rolling up their sleeves to figure out how we can find solutions to help our kids, they want to blame those who do the most for our students, and that's our teachers. So I'm here tonight to say thank you for what you do. Gracias para todo, para los estudiantes, for supporting them under all circumstances and the difficulty. And it is my pleasure to stand with you on behalf of all the students in LA and the great state of California. And it would be my honor to serve as your superintendent of public instruction here in California.
Think about that. Talk about that.
You know, I can't tell you how many teachers have made a great difference in my life. My mother was a teacher. She was an immigrant who came here from Panama and taught in the Bay Area. My father immigrated all the way from Detroit, Michigan, running away from Detroit, Michigan. He entered the military, the U.S. Army. He was in Vietnam. And my father didn't come back home from the war. I met my father the first time when I was a 40-year-old man. I found him on the internet. And he said that the mental and physical scars of war prevented him from reconnecting with his family. So my mother, the teacher, raised 4 kids by herself until she could not do it anymore. She was very sick. She had cancer. And when I was 6 years old, my mother passed away, and I moved to live with a cousin who I never met before. And that cousin made sure I got a great public education that saved my life. And I tell people all the time, were it not for her sacrifice and teachers who believed in me, I might have ended up in state prison. Instead, I ended up in the California State Assembly. And so I believe deeply in what a public education can do for all kids, because education saved my life. So you have my deepest thanks. And you know, this week the governor signed a bill of mine to make it easier to enroll our kids in the free and reduced lunch program, because we have hungry kids, and it's hard to learn when you're a hungry kid. And I was one of those kids. I was on the free lunch program, and we were on food stamps, and I joke all the time that we got government cheese and that we ate so much government cheese that I thought USDA was a brand name. It was these programs, plus teachers, plus after-school programs, plus extended family that made it possible for me. And to go on to college and spend 20 years as a social worker, get elected as a city council member, as a school board member. I spent 12 years in education, running after-school programs, teaching life skills, teaching career training, and becoming a school board member and fighting with your members and supporting your members to get better benefits and compensation. So as you approach your bargaining time and your negotiations, know that for all that you do for our kids, we stand with you. We stand with you, and we'll stand with you on the battle lines. And I want to thank all of you who supported our bill. We got another bill signed, AB 1014, that just gave $35 million to the schools in California to do truancy prevention, restorative justice, and community schools. And the check's no longer in the mail. The checks have been delivered, and they've gone to the schools, and we're not done yet. This is a bill, AB 1014, that will provide this funding for the next several years. So we are hopeful that LAUSD will receive one of those grants. West Contra Costa, where UTR is, received a $2 million grant from that allocation, and we want to work with you because we believe that we've got to change the narrative for our kids and that we should educate and not incarcerate. And that's why I've introduced a first of its kind bill this year that puts a tax on private prisons, because we spend $5 billion on private prisons in California, and our tax from AB 43 will put that money from that tax into where the places where it should go. Preschool and after-school programs, so we can prevent putting kids in jail. We'll educate and not incarcerate. And we know that you deal with many sacrifices. We know we have a teacher shortage. I'm honored to be doing a bill this year that provides scholarships to anyone who wants to enter the profession. And we know that we need to start by doing a better job of just paying teachers better and thanking you for all that you do. And until we get there, I've introduced a bill to help offset the housing costs. It's a teacher housing bill, and it gives money to school districts to build affordable housing for our teachers, for anyone who works in a school district who serves our kids. It's AB 45, and I'm honored that you all are supporting it. We're going to continue to do the work that we have to do because we are, as California, the 6th wealthiest economy in the world. And we have no business allowing our per pupil funding to be at 46 per pupil in the nation. We can and we must do better, and together we will. So thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank you for the opportunity to work with you. We stand with you and look forward to our work together on behalf of the children of California. Thank you very much. God bless you.